Well, Georgia was one state that made headlines long after the 2020 U.S. presidential polls. After voting in red for 6 consecutive elections, Joe Biden had managed to flip the state blue.
But by less than 12,000 votes, that is. Still today, Donald Trump claims that the Democrats stole the election in Georgia. So with less than 70 days to go for presidential elections, the swing state is back in the news, this time for an election rule.
Georgia State Election Board has adopted a new rule that allows officials to refuse to certify an election. What this means is that some local election boards can choose to not officiate the results after voting. And the immediate after effect would be a delay in finalizing poll results. The state and National Democratic parties have sued the state board for this. They are arguing that the rules violate an existing law that makes certification a compulsory duty and not a choice.
Democrats further accuse the body of exceeding its legal authority. Georgia's state election board is now dominated by allies of Donald Trump, and those in support are arguing that county election board is just fulfilling its duty, noting that each board member must swear an oath to compile true and perfect results. Now let's take a look at how Georgia has voted in the last 5 elections.
In the last election, there was just a 0.2% difference when, as we told you, Biden flipped the state after 6 Democratic losses. In 2016, the winning margin was 5.2%. In 2012, 7.8%. In 2008, it was again 5.2%. Lastly, in 2004, there was a 16.6% difference, the largest in the 5 elections that we are looking at.
Now, 2004 was the same year George Bush won re-elections, and the state clearly played an important role in that. Which side Georgia will swing this time remains to be seen. And well, for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tayani sent us this report on the significance of Harrison Walz's Southeast Georgia campaign. Listen in.
Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz's tour throughout Georgia really demonstrates a move to connect with voters in rural areas in that battleground state. The tour marks their first joint visit to Georgia, demonstrating the campaign's investment in that state, which President Biden won by a narrow margin in 2020 with over 170 Democratic volunteers in 24 coordinated offices. The campaign hopes to replicate that success in 2024.
Well, Susan further explains how this visit impacts the presidential race in Georgia and what are the implications for the November polls.
Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate Governor Tim Walz's visit to Georgia highlights the state's crucial role in this year's presidential election. With President Biden winning a slim victory in 2020 by 12,000 votes, Georgia remains a pivotal battleground state. That's why the Harris campaign has invested heavily in the state, combined with the joint tour that we're seeing now. It demonstrates their commitment to winning Georgia. At least that's what they hope. However, with former President Donald Trump leading in polls by roughly 3 percentage points, which is in the margin of error in Georgia, the GOP also sees an opportunity to flip the state this year. The outcome in Georgia will significantly impact the path to 270 electoral votes, making this visit a crucial moment for the presidential race.